Pollution affects not only humans but also animals and living beings in surroundings. Birds, fish, plants, microorganisms, and other animals all are affected by pollutants. Pollution not only affects living beings on land but it has dangerous effect on aquatic animals and birds. Let us discuss effects of pollution on different living organisms. Due to pollution in ocean, coral reefs are getting destroyed. Coral reefs are habitat of various aquatic animals. It stops soil of land from getting eroded by waves. It has medical properties as well. Millions of gallons of oil get spilled in water every year. This oil affects the oxygen availability in water and cause breathing problems and death of aquatic animals. This oil can also remove the waxy coating on the feather of seabirds. Without waxy coating, water seeps inside the feather and make it hard for seabirds to fly. This inability of flying leads to drowning and death. Grains become contaminated due to excessive use of pesticide and become harmful for birds. Due to the effect of pesticides, birds lay eggs with very thin shell. Weak shell results in breaking of egg easily and death of baby birds. Gases like sulfur dioxide released by factories cause death of lichens and mosses. Lichens are used in food, scent, and dyes. Mosses prevent soil erosion and used as moisture absorber, fuel, etc.
Good morning everyone, I am Marenv Mejia Jr. and I'm here to talk about marine environment. So what is a marine environment? The marine environment includes the water of seas and estuaries, the seabed and its subsoils, and all marine wildlife and its sea and coastal habitats. It is a precious asset, a heritage that must be protected, conserved, and properly valued. The ultimate aim is to keep our oceans and seas biologically diverse and dynamic, and is also safe, clean, healthy, and productive. The marine environment is a vital resource for life on Earth. Marine ecosystems perform a number of key environmental functions. They regulate the climate, prevent erosion, accumulate and distribute solar energy, absorb carbon dioxide, and maintain biological control. The seas and the oceans are our greatest source of biodiversity. They cover 71% of Earth's surface and they contain 90% of the biosphere. The marine environment is also a great contributor to economic prosperity, social well-being, and quality of life. It constitutes a fund of resources which can be used to achieve greater economic potential. B. What are the major sources of marine pollution and its impact hazard to humans, animals, and shipping industry? Well, marine pollution is a growing problem in today's world. Our ocean is being flooded with two main types of pollution: chemicals and trash. Chemicals contamination or nutrient pollution is concerning for health, environmental, and economic reason. Marine trash encompasses all manufactured products, most of them plastic, that end up in the ocean. Littering, storm winds, and poor waste management all contribute to the accumulation of this debris, 80% of which comes from the sources on land. Common types of marine debris include various plastic items like shopping bags and beverage bottles, along with cigarette butts, bottle caps, food wrappers, and fishing gear. Plastic waste is particularly problematic as a pollutant because it is so long-lasting. Plastic items can take up 100 years to decompose. The shipping industry that fulfills more than 90% of trade across the world with the help of around 90,000 marine vessels contribute heavily to global pollution and climate change. The studies indicate that the shipping industry is responsible for large quantities of pollutants being emitted, including over 3% of global carbon dioxide emissions in the world. Being one of the world's most polluting sectors, the increase in marine transport in huge magnitudes in these days are also increased ship pollution substantially. Within the shipping industry, the cruise industry makes no difference, though representing a small fraction of the industry. Cruise ships, as much as the entertainment they provide, are also a source of great pollution in the oceanic and marine areas like the commercial vessel. Solutions for marine pollution include prevention and cleanup. Disposable and single-use plastic is abundantly used in today's society, from shipping bags to shipping packaging to plastic bottles. Changing society's approach to plastic use will be a long and economical challenging process. Cleanup, in contrast, may be impossible for some items. C. Explain MARPOL Convention, history when it was adopted, entered into force, and its objectives, including all the regulations of MARPOL, Annex 1 to 6. The International Convention of Prevention and of Pollution from Ships is the main international convention covering prevention of pollution of the marine environment by ships from operational or accidental causes. The MARPOL Convention was adopted on November 2, 1973 at IMO. The Protocol of 1978 was adopted in response to a spate of tanker accidents in 1976 to 1977. As the 1973 MARPOL Convention had not yet into force, the 1978 MARPOL Protocol absorbed the parent convention. The combined instrument entered into force on October 2, 1983. In 1997, a protocol was adopted to amend the convention, and a new Annex 6 was added, which entered into force on 19 May 2005. MARPOL has been updated by amendments through the years. Annex 1 regulations for the prevention of pollution by oil entered into force on October 2, 1983, covers prevention and pollution by oil from operational measures as well as from accidents discharges. The 1992 amendments to Annex 1 made it mandatory for new oil tankers to have double hulls and brought in a phase in schedule for existing tankers to fit double hulls, which was subsequently revised in 2001 and 2003. Annex 2. Regulation for the control of pollution by noxious liquid substances in bulk entered into force on October 2, 1983. Details the discharge criteria and measures for the control of pollution by noxious liquid substances carried in bulk. Some 250 substances were evaluated and included in the list appended to the convention. Annex 3. Prevention of pollution by harmful substances carried by sea in package form entered into force on July 1, 1992. Contains general requirements for the issuing of detailed standards on packing, marking, labeling, documentation, stowage, quantity limitation, exception, and notifications. Annex 4. Prevention of pollution by sewage from ship entered into force on September 27, 2003. Contains requirements to control pollution of the sea by sewage. The discharge of sewage into the sea is prohibited, except when the ship has in operation an approved sewage treatment plant, or when the ship is discharging contaminated and disinfected sewage using an approved system at a distance of more than 3 nautical miles from the nearest land. Annex 5. Prevention of pollution by garbage from ships entered into force in December 31, 1988. Deals with the different types of garbage and specify the distances from land and the manner in which they may be disposed of. The most important feature of the annex is the complete ban imposed on the disposal into the sea of all forms of plastics. And lastly, Annex 6. Prevention of air pollution from ship entered into force on May 19, 2005. Sets limits on sulfur oxide and nitrogen oxide emissions from ships' exhaust and prohibits deliberate emissions of ozone-depleting substances. Designated emission control areas set more stringent standards for SOx and NOx and particulate matter. So that's all. Thank you.